How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. So we'll start over on the Dixie for the daily. We did pull back a bit. We did hit our support level that we did mention. We did see that rejection of our 300 EMA. RSI is pulling back, stochastic is falling. Our VWAP does want to reject that neutral, momentum is falling, and money flow is weakening. Overall, this could be good for Dixie or crypto. Remember, Dixie and crypto usually are inversely related. So if Dixie is coming down, usually crypto will bounce up. So our 4-hour, we're pretty bearish here. VWAP's bearish, momentum's falling back, money flow is dropping, price action is continuing lower. We do have lower highs with lower lows. I would watch if these connect. That could create a descending channel. We don't quite have a descending channel yet, but if we do, that could help push us forward. Again, that would be bad for crypto. So we will hop over to total for the daily. I don't think many people are too interested in the lower time frame analysis on these coins or these parts of the TA. Let me know in the comments if you have a different opinion. We did push up toward the top of our golden pocket. We have a rejection as also the top of our channel. We did mention to watch for this, as if we continue to drop away, it's likely we could end up breaking that 602 and pushing lower. Momentum does want to round away, stochastic is pulling back, RSI is dropping, VWAP is starting to sell off, and our money flow is flat. If that VWAP continues to sell off, momentum will start to break away, and our money flow will go into the bearish territory. That would lead us lower. And remember, as total does lead our altcoins, that would end up bringing most of the altcoins down. Over on the 4-hour, momentum is dropping, stochastic is pulling back, RSI is dropping, VWAP is favoring bearish. We have consistent lows with weak highs, so we did reject a bullish cross, and now we are favoring bearish. If this continues, we are likely going to push down, retest that 300 EMA, and if we don't gain bullish momentum at that 300 EMA, that's likely where we would see that breakdown and possibly push lower to around that 552 level. Over on the 2-hour, our momentum is pulling back. We have bearish divergence, stochastic is dropping, money flow is pulling back. VWAP is in a bit of a bearish trend with lower highs and lower lows, so that's going to weaken those higher time frames. The 1-hour, we do have a push to the bullish side. Then we got rejection. Momentum is favoring bearish, money flow is pulling back, stochastic is falling, and RSI is dropping. So overall, the 1-hour doesn't look very positive. If that VWAP can make a higher low, then get a higher high, then we could gain some steam. However, if that VWAP gains further bearish momentum here, we are going to see those higher time frames weaken. Over on Bitcoin dominance for the daily, we did try to push forward. We did get a little bit of a rejection. This could be a long lower shadow though, so I would watch. Remember, a long lower shadow candle does show that the bears tried to push you down, but the bulls are stepping in. This could mean Bitcoin could gain against altcoins. We did see Bitcoin lose a little bit against altcoins today. It lost about twice as much. Our stochastic is rounding, RSI is pulling back, VWAP does want to round, momentum is pushing, trying to become bullish, and our money flow does want to run up. So asking, what is your favorite coin in chat? If I can type, let me know in chat, and then we can cover any other coins that you mention if you would like. Remember, you can always leave a request in the chat. Over on the Dixie, one of the more important things we cover on the day-to-day, we are rejecting that 65.5. That was a critical resistance, and if we continue this rejection, it's very likely we would continue lower and possibly push to that gapped area. Remember, we want to fill that gapped area now and then push back above that 65.5 after filling that gap. If we can do that, that can give us a healthy move and a potential run to that 90K. However, if we end up rejecting here, filling our gap, and then breaking that 67, that's where we could see that double top still play, so I would still watch out for that. Our stochastic does want to round, RSI is pulling back, VWAP is starting to pull back as well, momentum does want to round, and money flow is starting to sell off, so overall I would exercise caution, watch the lower time frames here. Over on the 4-hour, we are trying to reject our EMA. If we continue below this green EMA, that would give us the strength to push down toward the blue and possibly the black EMA, which is our 300 EMA. If we break that black 300 EMA, then it's likely we could see further bearish momentum, but remember, we would need to break that to fill that gap, and then we would want to see that bounce above that gapped area. That would give us that bullish possibility. However, if we do end up rejecting and continuing lower, that's where we would continue to drop down. VWAP is pulling back, momentum is rounding, stochastic is dropping, RSI is weakening. So overall, the 4-hour doesn't look very positive. Over on the 2-hour here, we are starting to pull back as we tried to hit that 65.5 and we got rejected. RSI is pulling back, momentum is rounding, money flow is dropping down, our stochastic is dropping, VWAP is favoring bearish. So overall, the 2-hour doesn't look too positive. If that VWAP does not reverse, we're likely going to see that money flow become red and give us a trend reversal. Over on the 1-hour, RSI is pulling back, stochastic does want to round, our VWAP is breaking down after trying to run bullish. So watch, if we get lower lows with lower highs here, we will get a new bearish trend that will keep momentum low and break money flow down. That would in turn weaken those higher time frames. Watch for that VWAP though. It's likely going to remain bearish if we do end up seeing that gap fill. And then that's the point you would want to see it flip bullish if we're going to run up from there. Over on Bitcoin for the daily, we got the same rejection right around that 66. So that is a psychological support resistance, that even number. We covered that in the Master in the Trade. So make sure you visit that playlist. It does have a lot of basic information that you should know. Stochastic does want to round, RSI is pulling down, momentum is starting to round as well. VWAP does want to fall and money flow is trying to become bullish. But if that VWAP breaks down, momentum will sell off and money flow will end up becoming more bearish. Over on the 4-hour, we are rejecting that EMA, so we are continuing lower here. RSI is dropping, momentum is falling, stochastic is heading down. We do have our orange above blue. VWAP is falling as well, so overall the 4-hour doesn't look very strong, and if the lower time frames continue to favor bearishly, we likely would break down. Over on the 2-hour, we do have our green crossing below our blue, so watch for this cross. If we see our lower EMAs start to cross below those EMAs that are above them, these are both low EMAs, but the green is the lowest. If we see those cross below stronger EMAs and hold, we're likely going to cascade down. RSI is pulling back, money flow is selling off, VWAP is in the bearish territory, momentum is dropping, and the money flow does want to round as that momentum and VWAP are favoring bearish. Over on the 1-hour, our VWAP is very weak in the bearish territory. We did get a bullish run, but that was weak as well. If this VWAP starts to round away and pick up further bearish steam, we will see a continued sell-off. I would watch if we break that yellow EMA. If we break that yellow EMA, that's where that bearish steam may come from, as we would push down to our 63, try to retest it, and if we cannot hold on that orange EMA, that's where we could continue lower. RSI is dropping down, stochastic does want to round, we have orange above blue, VWAP is bearish, money flow is weak. Again, watch that VWAP close. If it ends up breaking into a bearish trend on the lower time frames, we likely could see a sell-off on the higher time frames. Over on graph for the daily, we do have a rejection of that 300 EMA. VWAP is pulling back, momentum is rounding, stochastic does have a bearish cross, money flow is dropping due to the VWAP pulling back, so I would watch that VWAP close. If it breaks bearish, momentum will start to fall, and money flow will continue to drop away. Over on the 4-hour, we did get a pretty decent push to that 250 EMA. We got several rejections and we continued lower, so that could be a clue that we may continue to drop away here. Momentum is falling, RSI is dropping down, stochastic is falling, VWAP does have lower highs with consistent lows, so we are making a bearish trend. Watch for that bearish trend to continue, as that will drop momentum lower and cause that money flow to weaken. Over on the 2-hour, we are trying to push above our EMAs, but we have that same bearish cross we saw in Bitcoin. Again, watch for that to continue. If the lower EMAs continue to drop down, we are going to see retests of our 300 EMAs. RSI is dropping, stochastic is falling, that VWAP is in a bearish trend. We did break bearish right back here. We have slightly higher lows, so I would watch if we get a higher high, that would be positive. But if that VWAP continues to round away, momentum will drop away and money flow would weaken. That would in turn weaken those higher time frames. Over on the 1-hour here, we are seeing rejections of EMAs, but we're trying to trend forward, so I would watch. If we can hold that green EMA, that would be positive, and we may see it try to push forward. Stochastic does want to make a bounce here. Our RSI is pushing up. Momentum is overall pushing down, as that VWAP did break bullish, but was a very weak break, and we are seeing further bearish momentum. That VWAP, as it continues to favor bearish, could end up breaking momentum lower and bring money flow down, which would again in turn weaken those higher time frames. Over on Ankr for the daily, we do have a rejection of our 3079, so we did try to wick above it to the top of our channel and we got rejected. Again, watch out. That is a long upper shadow candle, and remember, unlike a long lower shadow candle, this does show bulls are running out of steam, and the bears could step in to drop us down. The only positive is it's green, meaning it could be a hammer candle as well, so if it's followed by a strong green candle, we could continue up, but if tomorrow's candle starts to become red, we could see that sell off, and then we could see this pattern play out and break those support levels. Our stochastic does want to round, RSI is trying to push forward, but if that stochastic breaks, RSI will follow. Momentum is bullish, VWAP is running up, and money flow is starting to struggle. So if that VWAP continues to pull back, momentum will start to drop away, and that money flow will gain further bearish momentum. Over on the 4-hour here, we are overall rejecting EMAs. There we go. We are overall rejecting our EMAs, continuing lower. Watch for a break of our 3079. Momentum does want to round. We have bearish divergence with momentum and stochastic. RSI is dropping. VWAP is pulling back, and the money flow does want to weaken. Over on the 2-hour, we did get a break of our support level, so I would watch this could be bearish if we follow it with a further break. Stochastic does want to round, RSI is pulling back, money flow is dropping, VWAP is favoring bearish. So overall, the 2-hour isn't looking very strong. It looks like the bears could be gaining control, so watch very close. Over on the 1-hour, we are dropping to fill some gaps that we created. Remember, gaps have an 80% likelihood to fill. We do have another one around that 2906. And then another one right around that 2883. So I would watch those levels very close. Those could be decent DCA areas. Remember, supports are good areas to buy. Resistance, good areas to sell at. RSI is pulling back, stochastic does want to fall. Our VWAP did try to break bullish, but got rejected. So watch for further bearish momentum. If that VWAP continues to make a bearish trend here, momentum will drop away and money flow will weaken. Over on XRP for the daily, we are seeing a pretty strong run up. We did hit that value area high, just shy of it, and we are trying to continue this run forward. That is very positive considering the rest of the market's getting beat down. We do have a reversal arrow that does signal we could see a reversal of our trend, so I would exercise caution because currently the trend is just a straight shot up, and when you moonshot, usually you come back crashing to earth. VWAP does want to pull back, momentum is rounding, stochastic is starting to fall, so I would watch if that orange gets above blue. We could see RSI bring price action lower. Money flow is breaking bullish, so that is positive. I would just watch the lower time frames. Over on the 4-hour here, momentum does have bearish divergence. I would watch, that could bring us lower. Stochastic is dropping, RSI is trying to run up, but if the stochastic continues to drop, we will see RSI start to drop, and that will bring price action lower. VWAP is favoring bearish with lower highs and lower lows. Momentum is starting to sell off as a result. So watch as that momentum gains steam. As it does, money flow will start to bring price action lower. Over on the 2-hour here, we are somewhat stair-stepping our way up. So the 2-hour is more healthy looking than the daily. I would still exercise caution though. Momentum is overall pushing down. VWAP is struggling, so that's where I would exercise caution. We have lower highs with lower lows. Momentum does want to break. Money flow is weakening. If this continues, we're likely going to favor bearish. Over on the 1-hour, we do have a bit of a rising channel that could be forming here. So just unlike our descending channel, this rising channel, as it sounds good, does bring you down. Remember, not everything that says it's good for you is good for you. So we have 3 touches to the top, 2 touches to the bottom. If we continue this rejection, hit that bottom, and continue to drop away, this could end up bringing us right around that 59 cents. And if we cannot meet bullish momentum there, we would continue lower, possibly breaking the 57 and 54 that we just shot right through. RSI is pulling back, momentum is rounding, stochastic is starting to drop down, VWAP is pulling back, and money flow does want to sell off, so I would exercise caution. Over on ALGO, last but not least, since there are no other requests, we did try to hit that 1618 like we mentioned, but we got rejection. Stochastic is dropping away, orange is above blue, RSI is pulling back, VWAP is starting to head toward neutral, watch that close. Momentum does want to round, and money flow is starting to reject, so if that VWAP breaks down, we will see that money flow gain further bearish momentum. Over on our 4-hour, we are pulling back toward our 300 EMA, so if we break this blue EMA, we could end up seeing the bears try to push us below that 300, and then we could see bearish trends continue. Momentum is dropping away, our RSI is dropping, stochastic's pulling back, VWAP is dropping down, so overall I would exercise caution. Over on the 2-hour, we have a bearish cross with a manipulation X. I would watch. This could bring us lower. Momentum is dropping away as VWAP favors bearish with lower lows and lower highs, and the money flow is starting to weaken. RSI and stochastic are dropping as well, so I would exercise caution. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic is overall bearish. RSI is dropping as a result. If this does not reverse, price action will likely continue lower. Momentum is dropping. That VWAP is favoring bearish. We have a very strong low here and a weaker low here. What you would want to see if we make a bounce is that VWAP to break bullish and hold. If that yellow wave cannot break bullish and hold, it's likely momentum would continue to sell off that blue wave and money flow would deepen into the red from the green. So if that does happen, that would signal a bearish trend is coming, and then the other time frames could start to sell off. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night. I appreciate every single one of you.